welcome. Welcome to this Mindful Monday. And it's a bit of a special Monday in terms of the wheel of the year. So in the Northern Hemisphere, it is Samhain. Technically, it's tomorrow. It's like the eve of Samhain. In the Southern Hemisphere, it's coming into Beltane. Most of us watching this, everybody in the Zoom room today is in the Northern Hemisphere, I think, unless anyone's nipped over somewhere that I don't know about. And Samhain, which took me years to work out how to pronounce it. I used to call it Charmaine because I've got this like verbal dyslexia and I make up words as to how I think they are. Anyway, it's Samhain, I think. The end of the harvest season, kind of from the Celtic folk and pagan rituals. And it's all about the beginning of winter and the darker half of the year. But it is the turning of the wheel of the year, which is the bit that's important for us. The seasons and cycles of change. And it's also Halloween. Samhain and Halloween are not the same thing. They just land at the same time. So Halloween is the eve of the Christian festival originally of All Hallows Day. A time to remember those that passed before us, including saints. But, as you know, it's become heavily influenced by Celtic folk and Samhain and pagan rituals, and it's changed a lot actually in the UK from when I was a child. Although we had Halloween parties, we were unusual. Most people celebrated Guy Fawkes, bonfire night, and less celebrated Halloween. Those that did had families who spent hours chipping away at turnips. We called them turnips. They're called Swedes now, but we called them turnips. Rock solid turnips to carve them out and make lanterns. And we've become much more American and there's much more dressing up. There was dressing up then, but it was very much witches and black cats and ghosts. There were kind of those three main things. You made a pointy hat, or you wore a sheet, or you put a tail on and ears to be a cat. That's how it was in our house. But it's become much more like America, where there's lots of dressing up of whatever you wish. And Simon the Skeleton is here with us, and I was just explaining to the people in the Zoom room that Simon's here because I was teaching anatomy on Saturday, but I accidentally left him out because I usually put him away for other Zooms, but we decided it was okay because of All Hallows Eve and Samhain, along with my pumpkin scarf and my pumpkin leggings, which you can't see yet. But what I wanted you to perhaps think about a little more is the turning of the year and what that means for you. What the darker season means for you. Some people find the darker days and the longer nights more difficult, and for some of us, it's fine. I like it. I find it cozy. I find as well, some of us with chronic health challenges, some of us, not everybody, or me, I have always found that when my fatigue levels have been high, then at this time of the year, I'm allowed to stay curled up in my corner because it's dark and it's cozy and lots of people are curled up in their corner. So I didn't stand out as much doing that. And I always loved half-term holidays when we had our caravan and my boys were small and we'd camp off to the caravan, decamp, and it didn't matter what the weather was doing because we were just there, being, embracing the leaves falling, the darker days, the longer nights, DVDs on back to back, anything that allowed coziness and comfort. It's also heading into that time of the year, that wintering, and giving permission for us to winter. We can winter at any time, but like I was just saying, some of us feel a little more at ease wintering when it's dark and cold, and people stay in. So what does this time of the year mean to you? How do you embrace it? I'm going to pause the recording and check in with the Zoomies around those concepts, and we'll be back in a moment. So time to feel thankful, time to feel grateful, time to reflect on progress, changes, things we've achieved, and less pressure that the sunny, warm days can bring. So, I invite you first to come and move. I'm going to move to that other chair and we'll just have a little bit of movement, but you can move from your chair. You don't have to be standing. First, some centering. And I encourage you to practice centering yourself. I keep saying it, but we will have some speedier versions. But I think to luxuriate in a slow guided centering is a good thing at the beginning of the week. So our ABC, A for awareness. Tuning in to your feet on the ground, your body resting on the chair or whatever you're sitting on, or if you're standing. The temperature of the air around you. Any noises nearby or in the distance. It's okay, that's life. We're just noticing. And noticing how you feel in your body, landing in your body today. Have you been in your body? Have you been cut off from your body? Are you stepping back in with your awareness? Perhaps take some small micro movements to remind your brain where your body is. Awareness of your breath. No need to change it. The inhale. The pause. The exhale. The gap. B for balance. Rocking back and forth, even if it's tiny. Side to side. Up and down. Finding that center. The point of least effort. Balance to your breath. Seeing if you can have an even length of breath in and out. Without the awareness, we don't know what we're doing with our breath. And with the awareness, we can make a choice. And then C for core. Breath in, lengthen up the spine. Breath out, soften forehead, jaw, shoulders, chest, belly. In. Exhale and soften. One more. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, softness to the core. And C for connection. Bring someone to mind. A person or an animal, a pet. Someone past or present. Someone who makes you feel safe, listened to, loved. Include in that your higher self or perhaps your older self. Someone who makes you feel hugged. And notice how that feels in your body. And then have a little shimmy and shake. And we're going to have a little bit of a sun salutation variation from the chair. You do not have to stand up. So we're going to take the arms up. If your shoulders are sore, you can just take them as high as you want to, but otherwise we'll reach them up to the sky. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale, take them up again. Exhale, take them down and hinge from the hips forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, take them down. This time we're going to add on a lift. So we'll still stay seated. Inhale, take them up. Exhale, hinge forward. Stay hinged, but inhale, take arms out to the side, lift the head. Exhale, back down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, come down. Stay seated and do that again, or join me in standing. Feel free to have something to rest on, like blocks, books, anything that you wish. Inhale, arms up. First time, just take the arms down. Inhale up again. Exhale, hinge from the hips, soften your knees, come down into a forward fold. Hands can come to the blocks. Inhale, come halfway up. So keep your hands on the blocks or the floor. Flatten the back. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, and let go. Have a little shimmy. Have a little shake and just notice how that movement feels in your body. And take any movements your body would feel right now. Your body would feel. Take any movements your body would like right now. Ask it. What does it want? What does it need? Does it need you to rock side to side, step foot to foot? Does it need you to be still? Just taking movements as your body needs, whatever it needs today. And learning to tune into those messages. What does my body need today? Maybe shake a leg. That's an expression, isn't it? Shake a leg. Maybe it gets us moving. Shake an arm gently and another. Have a swing. And then take another breath, arms up. Exhale and let go. And find a position for a guided meditation practice. Choosing the position that's right for you today. You might even want to experiment, sit differently. And if you're feeling restless or anxious, walk. Take steps mindfully and listen. If you're feeling exhausted and need to rest, lie down. Use bolsters and cushions and blankets and feel comfortable. If you want to stay seated, do, but you don't have to sit tall. The Yoga Sutras tell us to sit tall, but we are learning to listen to the wisdom in our own body as well, and choosing to do what our body needs us to do. So settle into that position. Get comfy. Take your time. If at any point you're feeling fidgety, move. Resettle. It's okay. We can use the breath as an anchor. So if your mind wanders, bring your attention back to the breath. Notice that inhale, the pause, the exhale, and the gap. If you become anxious, open your eyes. If they're closed, look around the room and name items, familiar items, or feel the tips of your fingers, bringing your awareness to something concrete on the extremities of your body. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. And know that now there is nothing for you to do and nowhere for you to go. Just to be here. Bring awareness back to your body. Noticing how you feel today. Any new insights? Any areas that need extra love, care, attention? You can hold them in your mind. And notice your breath. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out with softness and ease. An invitation to imagine. Imagine a walk through a park. Find yourself at the gates of the park with a clean footpath leading you in. Wrought iron fencing, and the big gate is swung open. Perhaps you might sense or imagine touching the gate. Perhaps you'd rather not. But imagine it to be cool. The surface a little rough. All the hands over all the years that have pushed on that gate. The paint may be worn and peeling off, revealing the wrought iron beneath. Step into the park on the path. Either side of the path, there are big trees. Perhaps it's a little muddy under the trees, but there's also piles of leaves. Notice what your senses can feel, what they reveal to you. The scent in the air, the peaty ground, the noises. Maybe the leaves are rustling in a slight breeze. Maybe they're damp and clumpy, and smell earthy and heavy. Follow the path further into the park. Notice a fork in the path. You have a choice. You can go right or left. You might take the route down the hill, the pathway winding with green grass to one side and trees and shrubs to the other. The grass looks damp. Perhaps the last cutting of the grass was a little late and it's torn the turf in a few places. You can smell the grass and picture dogs running, children playing. Follow the path down. On the other side of you, the shrubs thicken. There are more trees. all sorts of trees, all at different stages for this season of the year. Perhaps there's a sharp gust of wind and rainfall of leaves above you. Notice the colours, the depth, the variation, the shapes of the different leaves. Follow the path further. Perhaps it comes down to the lake in the park. You might pause at the edge of the lake. See the ducks. See the swans and the cygnets that are the same size as their parents now, but still quite grey, slowly changing colour, becoming lighter, growing. You might notice something's different. You might notice the geese have gone. The geese that are usually in the park have left. For this, the darker half of the year. They all know. They fly. They leave. You might take the pathway on the edge of the lake. Still the trees and shrubs on one side of you. Squirrels scurrying past, gathering bits of food that are left. And on the lake, there's a small island. In the summer months, the trees and shrubs on the island are thick. But here, at this point in the year, the trees and shrubs are shedding their leaves. You can see through beyond the island to the other side of the lake. Let your senses be alive here. The colours and textures, the scents coming from the water, from the trees, from all of the plants, and the noises that you can hear. Perhaps the pathways become a little gravelly, and you can hear the crunching underfoot. Every now and then a duck might scatter and quack in front of you. The path moves away from the lake and climbs a small hill into a kind of forested area, thicker. At the centre, you might notice a huge old oak tree. Imagine how many years it's been there, how many seasons it's seen. Perhaps you can reach a hand out to touch the tree. Feel the bark under your fingertips, the roughness, the cool, the age. Maybe you settle and sit, resting against this tree just for a little while. and bring your awareness back to your own body, your own breath. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out, finding softness and ease. Notice where your attention is drawn in your body. Perhaps it's your back resting against the tree, the length of the spine, the muscles holding you tall. Imagine the breath there, filling the spine. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out with softness and ease. Perhaps you can sense or imagine the pelvis and the hips where you're seated, resting against the tree. Imagining the breath filling the pelvis and the hips. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out with softness and ease. Your legs may be stretched out in front of you as you rest against this tree. Sense the breath filling your legs, your thighs, your knees, your calves and shins, your feet and toes. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out with softness and ease. Perhaps you can sense or imagine your upper back and shoulders resting against this tree. Imagining the breath filling your upper back and shoulders. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out with softness and ease. As you rest here, perhaps you can imagine and sense your arms, your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, each hand with each finger and each thumb. Perhaps you can imagine the breath filling the arms and the hands. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out with softness and ease. Perhaps your head is resting against the trunk of this tree. And you can sense or imagine your head and neck. Notice them filling with the breath. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out with softness and ease. Bring your awareness to your belly and your chest. Perhaps you can imagine a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly, or even place one there. Sensing the breath filling the belly and the chest. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out with softness and ease. Sensing or imagining your whole body here, resting against this tree. Your whole body supported. Your whole body relaxing. Your whole body protected. Allowing yourself to rest here for the next couple of minutes. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out with softness and ease. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out with softness and ease. Noticing the tree you're resting against, the tree in the park. It's time to leave the park. But know you can come back here whenever you choose. Gently making your way back up from your resting place and through a pathway leading to some different gates. Pushing the gate open and taking one last look back at the colours of the leaves, the edge of the lake, the grass in the distance, taking in all of the sounds and the scents, turning round and leaving. Bring awareness back to your breath, awareness back to your body, and awareness back to the space that you are in. Take any movements that you need, stretching, perhaps taking a gentle hug, or one hand to heart and one to belly. And slowly, slowly, as you are ready, come back to where we began. Thank you for anybody joining us live or on the recording or in the live stream. I'll stop the recording now and check in with the people in the Zoom room.